We're back in the nest of the rat now. We'll get the circlip out of here, but I got the... Oh, handy. That bearing's alright. I put the steam cleaner in it. So it's got no grease. It does have a little bit of play in it. It's supposed to have a little bit of play in it. I'd say that's pretty well close to how it's supposed to be. There's a bugger of a snap ring. Well, good snap ring. An inner one as well. I thought it was an inner one. I hadn't seen the outer one. Bit of a tight fit. Just cleaning the area here with these wipes, just to get it as clean as I can before I put the new seal in. Don't want the new seal running on any rough stuff. Get this off the vise now and get the seal out. I got a new O-ring for this. Sure, I replaced this bearing last time. It doesn't have any slop whatsoever in nearly. They're supposed to have like a really small amount in them or they get swell and bind. It slows down quickly as well without being too stiff. So I'll take that as being good enough. And you should just be able to, well, press that out really you're supposed to do, but I'm going to press, so hammer and the big socket. That looks like it's going to fit, but might jam in there. Don't want them getting stuck in, so I'll use the one size down. Just do it on the vise here. Open it up so we got enough clearance for the seal to come out. Shouldn't be too difficult to tap out. And keep the socket so it's going down flat. I can try the big socket now, see if it fits. No, it would have jammed. Down a little bit crooked. Poor man's press, hasn't he? I haven't even got a complete hammer, broken handle. Don't worry, this isn't a how-to video either, it's just how I'm doing it. But it is showing that you don't need all the perfect tools to get stuff done. It's an old O-ring in there. Must have been part of an old seal, isn't it? Oh, whatever. It's a snap ring groove. That's a clip, whatever you want to call it. Just cleaned the inside of it out with a rag. You can see after cleaning it up, it doesn't have an end stop for the seal. So you just press it in up against the circlip. You've got the two circlip rings in there. And this is pretty soft stuff. You can see where the retainer bolt on the axle has missed the groove there. Some of the marks on it as well from days gone by. Cleaned the jaws of the vice up as well with the wipes just to get the so I'm not getting dirt on clean bits. Just get the old O-ring for this. It was still good enough to use that one. It was proud of the end of the steel by about 1/2 mil or 1 mil. I didn't measure it. I got a new one in the pack here. But, I'll put that on when I'm putting it in place. I'll put some Vaseline on it, or petroleum jelly, should be calling it. So I'm going to sit square in the pliers. It'll fly out in my eye. You know. You're supposed to turn these clips every time you put them in as well. You're supposed to bash them around to make sure that they're sitting properly. New seal. Just put the silicone spray in it. Helps it slide in, and it's good for the rubber as well. Stops it from cracking and moving about. There's this thing as a kind of press. Make sure that it's going in square. Sit in with the socket. The seals only go in one way as well, in case you're wondering. You're not supposed to push them in from the other direction. You're supposed to push the flat end of the seal in. Checking that it's going in and not bulging out around the back of the socket. The socket will be more central. There you go. I'll put that little steel cap back in as well. This bugger. I was going to give it a tap with the socket, but I thought all the dirt from inside the socket had fallen the thing, so I changed my mind. Sounds like there's a lot of torque converting going on outside somewhere. Feels like it's there. Oh, it's supposed to go around over the seal on it. I'll see what happens when I push it in more. No. The seal itself, the lip at the bottom there was starting to do that, so it's pressed in against it. I just wasn't keen on the gap in there, but it'll have to be, I suppose. Back the bearing back in as well. Give it a little clean. Should clean it with brake cleaner and stuff really, but it didn't come out of any. There wasn't dirt in the axle. The axle was clean. I changed the oil every few years as well. You know, it does about 500 hours a year, so change the oil once every about 3 years. So, feeding it into the bearing like that. So she'll get a, I can't remember what goes in the axle and the hubs, is transmission on. She'll get some oil going through that as well. She'll be happy as Larry. If Larry is as happy as we all think he is. It just slides in. No fuss with that thing. Lots of the 40 series hubs and gearbox bearings and things like that, you don't need presses and stuff for them. The transmission is, you just take clips off and the bearings slide off, you just put them on by hand. Quite an easy gearbox to work on. Not too badly complicated. If anything, it's more simple than a synchromesh gearbox. A lot simpler. Synchromesh gearbox has got a lot more not clutch packs, synchronizers in them, so we've got a lot more things going on, little clips and stuff like that. It's quite a lot of fiddly work with a synchro gearbox, but this thing has 3 sets of synchros in it. Just keep them in order, and when you pull them apart, stack them. You can figure out which way it goes together if you look and fiddle with it for a bit anyways. Now, the end of the world if it comes apart, you've got another one to have a look at. But they're not all the same. I think the 2 synchros in the middle aren't the same as each other in design. Other ones in mine weren't. The clip seating in its position there. I'll put this back on the shaft in a minute. I'll take the UJs off now, put new UJs in it. Just hammering the caps down with the I just hammered the caps in with this and the hammer. They all came out pretty easy then. I was being a little bit stupid. I don't do these every day, so oh, I'll have to press them out. Don't want to be too much for the shaft will get damaged. Well, get damaged. It'll start scuffing it up. I'll use a socket. I'll get the end one off first to make it a bit lighter for me to handle. These things are pretty tight. bigger socket then. Bastard. I'll have to hit them out. Probably not too good to squeeze out too much out of that ring. Might crack. Never done a wide angle one before. Mind you don't hit the ceiling stuff or something. Or she won't seal. The one next to it came out as well. Which is a little added bonus then. You need someone to help you do this. I'm not keen on hitting the ends there, they're a bit thin. Not a good idea to hit on that, really. Needed a bit more of a slap. So, come back in. Well, they were due for a change, you know. See, that's getting rusty in there. It did have a bit of slop in it as well. This inner one had a bit of slop in it. There's got a lot of slop in it now. I've smashed the bearings out. Press all of them back in there. There's a coming cart now. No. hammers coming off. I'd say just like that, but I didn't make it look too easy there. But the end of the shaft, half shaft on the floor here. They're quite easily damaged, these shaft splines in some of these transmissions. I can't drop them and stuff. The shaft in the rat's nest for a second. Piece of seal, something that's coming out now. Blooming neck. It's jammed in there now. Just lightly sanding out the cup holders here in the casting. Any dirt in there can make it bloody difficult to get the new UJ back in. You learn how difficult with experience if you're not used to changing shafts. I've never really been that good at changing UJs. I've always been a little, I don't know what you say, not very capable at the job. In something. I can do them alright, just I can't do them fast like some guys do this in 5 minutes. No messing. I got these cleaned out. Just sanded them with this aluminium paper. Cleaned the circlip grooves with the nose and that thing. As long as you're down to seeing the metal, you're back to where you're supposed to be. Some guys like to clean them out so that they're shining, but I don't like to clean them out too much because you want the metal there next time as well. It's supposed to be a press fit, and the old cups were in it before. So cleaning them up is good enough. You'll see now I'll struggle terribly to get the new ones in. I'm gonna take these caps off and put a little bit of extra grease in these. They've got a bit of grease in them, but I'll put just a little bit extra. red stuff in them. It's important with the joints in this thing as well. They are not in line. So one is further forward than the other, half lapping. And the joint, you can have the joint longer. If you do that, it makes the joint shorter, or the complete shaft. So the whole shaft will be a shorter. Bloody hell. You can have the joint, you can see it's half lapped like that. So you can have the joint like that, or like that. It changes the length of the shaft. So you need to have the shaft at its longest, so that they're pushing each other away from each other, kind of thing. Both joints are the same. So if you put them the wrong way around, the drive shaft will be a different length. I'm going to put a little bit of bloody penetration fluid in these housings to help them to slide. I'm going to make your life as easy as possible when you're doing these things. Keep on checking that the needles are in place. Push that one in about that much and put the other one in. Press it in a little bit till it's just so they're nearly touching. You can slide this thing out a little bit then out of the needles on the other side into that one. Just watch it until it starts moving in, and you can ride it into the other side. You can see it's sliding in and out of that one like that now. And press them in now, you know that the needles are all in place and you're not crushing a needle. Just keep feeling them and checking. I'll press this one side in now with a socket, put the clip in, then push the other side in, or you can just tap it in with a hammer and a thingy. Otherwise, if you've got something solid and somewhere handy to put it down on, and put the other circlip in, and just give it a tap, then give this a slap. Sometimes it helps just spring it back out so that it's relaxed and not holding. You want the joints to be nice and free when it's in place, not tight or binding or being difficult in certain positions. Not a handy job to do on your own. I've never enjoyed the job myself. You can push that one in quite a way, then make sure you got more than enough room to get your clip in. I'm doing this one a little bit like a how-to video, but I'm just Showing you how I do them. I do them differently every time. Well, no, I follow the same rules. I might hit them in sometimes. You don't want to hit them in when you're putting the new caps on because the needles can fall out. You put the first clip in there. And that one's really loose, it spins around. Oh, it spins around like that anyway. I don't like them that loose, but it'll tighten up when I press the other side into it. Sorry I'm not using the GoPro, but it's threatening to delete all my videos I made on the rest of this video for some reason. Bin is the only place for that camera, I think. I've never seen eye to eye, or lens to eye. Hard to see the back of it. Get another one then. Since I'm using that one, it's making me not get another one. Yeah, that's tight now, but it's not. You need to press them in. Needs to go a bit more. You need to push it in so that this goes against the circlip on the other side now. Yeah. Quite a lot of force to push two of them. I was going to give it a tap back out now, but get the clip in first. Or I might have. We're going to tap that casting so it's straight again. It might be a little bit like that. Can't see it, but there you go. Got that one in. Which is really tight now, so give the I think a few slaps back out. Yeah. Should relax them. But it hasn't. Still tight. The clip is still loose. That one's tight. This top one can go up a bit. It's looser than it ever was now. So what I was doing then, it was the joint was tight, so I was hitting this up to pull the cap up, but the cap was down in this and not against this. So this clip will be tight now. Oh, it's tighter. I could spin it around easy before. So it's tight now. But I was hitting this up, which was making that cap go, well, it wasn't making it go down, it was just springing up and down. And I hit it down then to press it up, if that makes sense. So hitting it down makes the cap slide up towards the clip. I was being a bit thick, hitting it the other way. It's nice and loose, that's where you want them. I'll put the rest of it together and then do something a bit more interesting in the new J's. Nearly finished with the CV now, CV wide angle. It's in place of a CV. You have to make sure that you keep these cups square. If you don't keep the cups square, it can be difficult to get them to line up sometimes. This was a UJ that didn't smash, so I had a good chance that this one was going to be easy. One of these two cups here had a heck of a job to get them in. The needles kept falling out, and I couldn't get the UJ to line up. To take it apart and put it back, take it apart, put it back about 3 or 4 times on one side. I had to do it many times. All the others have gone in fine. Just had a big of a job with that one. So if you've never done this kind of job before, have patience. If you're struggling with it, just leave it and come back, or you'll just damage something and they won't last. If you don't see the seals right up to the shoulder, see there's a taper bit here on this one, and you want the seal to come up to that rough casting that comes up to the edge there. So if you've got a gap there, you've got a needle come out of place in the end. It's on its side, so you've got about a mil and a half where she won't press in because there's a needle, and then all the other rollers won't be rolling square. Then they'll be rolling at an angle, and they'll kind of do that. And it'll last you about 10 minutes. But you won't get the clip in anyway, so I've seen people weld them in when they can't get the clip in. Or when you got a knackered, what do you call it? The groove. Just change the yoke, but sometimes you haven't got a yoke, you need to get something going quick. It's you have to do stuff like that, weld it in, and then pump a lot of grease through it again, just to cool it down. Turn this around, so I can try and show you. Probably go everywhere now. So I got them kind of pressed in. This first cap is pressed in flush the end of the casting, and this is in just before the needles. The end of the central cross is pretty much in line with the seal, and just slide it so it goes in, so it starts going into the other needles, and that's about half and half there now, so I can carry on pressing it in. Make sure it slides. Damn thing's falling down. And I make sure with them that they slide. Wrong thing. So the seal slides till it's flush on that side there. I'm in trouble. There's cameras in a long way, so you want the seal to go up to the casting there, and you want it to do the same on the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but it's sliding in and out of the needles on each side, and it's going all the way in, so you know then that it should press all the way in properly. If it won't slide all the way in like that, you got a needle come out. It's the best time to check that it's going all the way on each side. So this isn't moving now. There you go. It's sliding all the way in on both sides. And it should be anyway. It was a second ago. I'll just carry on pressing it in. So you can see now that's gone into there. Just pressed it a little bit with the socket, and you can watch it. It'll slide into that one. Then I'll push this one all the way until it's all the way in, and then we'll slide both of them in the opposite direction. Then so there you go. You see both of them touching the seals now. So this one will be well past the groove for the circlip, Pull it out, so clip in and press the whole lot the other way now. You can see it's pressed in well past the groove there, so you can get the clip in. Some of them won't press that far in past the groove. They'll just go maybe half that past it, but press it through, then press it from the other side, then you push the whole lot, then it'll be a heavier push to push the whole lot back. That's why you clean the holes and sand the rubbish out and make sure you haven't got any burrs in the holes, or it would be difficult and might make easier to make a pig of a job of it when things get like that. And you got the socket there, and it'll be heavier to press it. You'll see the whole lot sliding now. You see the other one. It's pressing the whole lot now through. There it goes. Stop moving there, so it's reached the end of the. Not as much clearance when you do it in the other way. Then it's just enough clearance for the clip to go in. There shouldn't be any more because they're supposed to be tight. Get it in like that, and you can just tap it in like that. You can see it's loose like the first one I done. And you put it on the vise then and give it a slap. Slap it after I find my hammer anyway. So you're going to slap this casting down so it grabs the cup and pulls it up with it. The cup is pressed in, so the slap will bend the yoke down. As the UJ is already squashed as much as it'll go, it whacks the yoke down, it'll flex a little bit like that, and it'll press the cup back up. It'll pull up with it. It's nice and loose like that then. And the circlips shouldn't turn either. I don't know if this is the one I done with the swishing around then. Yeah, it won't turn. Makes them all tight like that. That's why it was the best idea to hit the cups down at the start, because you hit the cups out at the finish, so you hit them in at the start. Makes it the best method. So there you go. New joint. I haven't done a new universal joint for a few years now. I grease my things too often. I know some manufacturers make these greasable on the joint here, but I don't know if it's better or worse to have them greasable. If you're greasing them and you grease too often, the seals will come out. If it's got a grease nipple there and the stone goes in there, it knocks the grease nipple off, then you can't grease it. I think that's why they don't put a grease nipple on it, really, because it's best of two evils, I suppose.